Good morning, Denver. Thanks for joining us at the grand opening of Denver Community Media. We're here on a beautiful sunny day in Denver. My name is Chelsea Warren.
I'm Ben Daniil.
And we both work for the City and County of Denver in the Marketing Services Department. We've got a great lineup for you today, including remarks. We're going to have some tours come through and hopefully do a couple of interviews with some of the people who made this project a reality. We've got live music in the outside from some of our partners at Youth on Record, and it's a beautiful day. We're really excited to be here.
Yeah, we've got a whole lot to go, so right now we're going to kick it off, and we're your hosts for the day, taking you through all the adventures. Outside, like Chelsea mentioned, we've got some musical performances, and then we've got our welcome and kickoff for the grand opening. So we're going to be hearing from Julie Martinez, who is the Director of Program and Administration at the City and County of Denver. We have Amanda Mountain, the CEO of Rocky Mountain Public Media. We've got Randy Johnson, the Executive Director of Emily Griffith Technical College, and David Achilles, who is the Community Media Coordinator here at the wonderful Denver Community Media Center. So after we hear from all of them, we'll see a ribbon cutting, and I'm pretty excited about that. I've actually never been to a ribbon cutting, Chelsea.
I don't think I've ever been to a ribbon cutting either. I hope they have the big scissors, but I get it. Like, I don't know where you find those on short notice, or if potentially you would need to get some little ones. I don't know. I don't know where you would buy even big scissors. So
yeah, that's true. Hey, and maybe if we could do a good job hosting, we'll even come away with a piece of the ribbon ourselves.
Ooh, yeah.
We'll see. We'll keep our fingers crossed. And then after we do all of the welcome and ribbon cutting, we're going to kick it off with some tours around the center where all the guests can see the wonderful technology that exists here. We'll do some interviews, test out a green screen, maybe check out the podcast studio, and check in on that live music across the way. So we've got an exciting schedule and events here.
Yeah, so we are here at Denver Community Media. It's their grand opening, and we're at 2101 Arapahoe Street in the Buell Public Media Center. So this is a really cool location. We have a lot of partners here, so a lot of other creative agencies. So Rocky Mountain PBS is here, The Drop, KUVO, Denver Open Media, the Colorado Sun, and a lot of others. So it's just a really good space. Ben, do you want to just give us, what is Denver Community Media, maybe, for those who are tuning in and do not know what we're talking about?
Yeah, in case you're not familiar with the whole idea of community media, here in Denver, we have funding for government and public access media. So this Community Media Center came out of the idea that traditional television is changing and transforming in different ways than ever before. So community media is an affordable multimedia one-stop shop that provides affordable access to tools, training, really enabling residents to come and have access to tools and technology to tell their story and get it on video, get it on audio, edit it, and make their ideas a reality.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many cool classes happening here too. So the Denver Community Media is open 11 to 7 Tuesday through Friday, and then 9 to 3 on Saturdays. So take Sunday, Monday off. And they have a whole slew of classes. So I mean, intro classes, if maybe you're a student, they partner with Emily Griffith for students. So if you've never touched a piece of technology, but you're like, I have a story I want to tell, I want to do a podcast. So they have intro to field capture equipment, to learning Final Cut Studio and Adobe Premiere. I mean, both you and I have been in Adobe Premiere. It's a monster of a project. So you can come here and for a really affordable entry level, learn how to use these tools, because as we know, storytelling is digital now, right? It's not sitting around the campfire and telling stories. It's videos and it's podcasts. And so we really want to give those tools to the community so that they can tell their story, and they can tell more stories of what is making up Denver, the issues that matter to Denver, or even just the Denver, Colorado area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a ton of technology here. We're sitting here in the main studio, which has cameras over here and over here and over here. It's amazing to see. There's a green screen, which we'll check out and show you later. There's productions. They've got what I'm being told is a new tech TriCaster, which sounds like it handles graphics and video and playback and audio and broadcast switching. So it's really amazing to see how much technology this room is built in. And like we said, this is the grand opening. So all this technology is brand new stuff that we get the chance to show off for everyone today.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interconnected space. It's a really modern space. I mean, when you walk in here, this doesn't feel like local government. It doesn't feel like what I think of, and I've worked in local government, right? It's just such a cool space, and it has modern, state-of-the-art stuff. So if you come here, you're really going to be getting to do the best kind of stuff. You're going to get to, there's a green screen that will hopefully have some people on later, but you're going to learn for the best equipment. You're going to learn from the best so that you can really take those skills into the field and learn it and just do more.
Yeah, and I was super excited. The first time Chelsea and I got the opportunity to be here, we were recording a podcast for the city of Denver. And let me tell you, this is not like when we were recording a podcast in our rooms from home.
Yeah, during the pandemic, guys, there was no other option. But
they have professional radios and recording equipment. And the most exciting part is even in the podcast studio, they have it set up with cameras around the room as well. So while you're recording a podcast episode, not only do you come away with the audio, but you come away with a really cool video that shows the kind of behind the scenes of you recording the podcast. And you can see there, like, we've got the beautiful mic set up and all the chairs. And yeah, it's a really wonderful facility.
Yeah, and just a quick shout out again to our partners. We have some really great partners that made the Denver Community Media Center. So we have City and County of Denver, Emily Griffith. We have Rocky Mountain Public Media, and then Youth on Record, who's doing the music outside for right now for the people who are coming to do this grand opening. Again, it's a beautiful day here in Denver, Colorado. We're celebrating the grand opening of the Denver Community Media. So our schedule, just to reiterate, there's right now everybody's milling around. There's a grand opening. As you can see, this is usually a parking lot that they've converted to kind of a cool outdoor space, and they're getting ready for the host of Welcome and Remarks. And so the Welcome and Remarks will be from a slew of community partners who made Denver Community Media a reality, and hopefully we get some of those people in the studio in the coming couple of hours to really talk more in depth about what it takes to put together a Denver Community Media Center. So, and then we'll do the ribbon cutting, and then there'll be tours throughout the community, throughout this really awesome center.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day out there. You never know in Denver what kind of day you're going to get. I know we were driving home from here yesterday and it hit a little rainstorm, so never quite know, but it is a beautiful sunny day out there, so I think everyone's going to enjoy it. Hopefully they brought their sunglasses and sunscreen. There's a lot of refreshments, a lot of amazing things to see, and we're really excited to show this brand new facility to everyone and show off all the hard work that has been years in the making, really. I know it sort of soft opened officially back in July of 2020, but due to the pandemic, it wasn't kind of fully open, so it was sort of a soft launch. But today is really the exciting day that we get to come to you live and show off all the hard work.
Yeah, and we're live streaming right now on Facebook for those who are watching, or on our local municipal stations, which I just blinked on the numbers.
We have channel 56 and 881 if you are in the city of Denver.
Yeah, we're shouting out to you guys really quick. We appreciate you tuning in. As you can see, that's Youth on Record, who is the musical performance today. That was Stevie Shelby and Edwina Maven from Youth on Record.
Yeah. So, Chelsea, if you were to try to tell a story, whether it be a podcast or a video, what do you think the topic of your little show would be?
I don't know if I have like a show title. I feel like sometimes I come up with an idea because I have a really good name of something. Like, you know, when I was in college, our new chancellor was Chopped, and so I made a Chopped food competition, mostly because I like the pun on her name. So I don't have a name for this said idea yet. Okay. But I think I would do something on sustainability. Like, that's what I studied, that's what I'm really passionate about, and I'm really interested in how politics and sustainability intersect, right? So like whether it's like wildlife coming in and like, you know, you should protect obviously the wild endangered wolf, but then if you own ranch property, that's not as great anymore. So like how do those politics kind of unfold? How do, in like the era of climate change, more limited resources come out? And how does that put pressure on our political system? So I think I would do that. It's a pretty broad scope, so I'd obviously have to narrow it in, but maybe come back in a little bit and I'll see if I have a little bit more to go.
Okay. Yeah, and hopefully we'll hear from some of the members at Community Media later and see what kind of storytelling projects that they're working on.
Yeah, what they're already working on would be awesome to hear from some of the people who already are taking advantage of the great programs and training that Denver Community Media offers. I know out there in the field they've been taking lots of photos. I don't know if we have any photos yet or a photo reel we could kind of show of today's event so far, of the guests who are showing up.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh yeah, look at that.
There we go. There's our green screen. Oh, they've got the podium set up. It looks like they're getting ready for the big welcome and remarks.
Oh, that's some great. Oh, yeah. Oh, just happy faces all around. I would be happy if I was outside. It's kind of like a little cold in the studio. Oh, there are the scissors. They hurt us, Ben.
They did.
Those are like medium level. There's Drew. I recognize Drew. Maybe we can get him in here later to do an interview. He's one of the members here at, one of the staff here at Denver Community Media. Ooh, we got a cool boomerang feature. We did see this little mobile photo booth come by. It's like the world's biggest ring light. It's great.
Yes.
Definitely come check it out solely for that. Oh, there's us, Ben.
Yeah, we made it on the reel. Very exciting.
Look at those studio lights. Yeah, there's David Achilles. We're going to have him on in the show. He's the community media coordinator here at Denver Community Media. We just got great amount of people who've like helped make this a reality, who are helping take advantage of Denver Community Media already, members of the community, members of the City and County of Denver, Rocky Mountain Public Media. I think the boomerang's my favorite feature on this.
That is cool. I mean, it's fun. We're showing off. They've got all these technical tools to show off the day of exciting technical tools. So I think I'm excited to learn some things. I know our guests that we're going to be interviewing have a lot more experience behind the camera than we do. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to learning about some of the exciting equipment that we've got here.
Yeah, maybe we can get some tips and tricks for how to be a hostess with the mostess.
Yep.
Yeah, we got some behind the scene footage here. Okay. Well, thank you again for joining us. This is the grand opening of Denver Community Media. We've got a great lineup for you, including interviews and then the welcome and remarks. Ben, do you want to just go over, if you're just joining us, what the welcome and who's doing the welcome and remarks again?
Yes, so we've got an exciting panel coming up. A lot of people who have been really involved in making this building into a full-time community media facility. So Julie Martinez, who is the Director of Programs and Administration at the City and County of Denver's Marketing Services. Welcome, Julie. We're hoping to maybe snag a couple of questions with her later in the show, pick her brain on how much work really went into building out this facility, because from the second you walk in, you know it is not an easy feat. Then we've got Amanda Mountain, the CEO of Rocky Mountain Public Media, who this is the building where the community media facility is. We're at the Buell Public Media Center, and so very excited to have Amanda Mountain here. Randy Johnson, the Executive Director of Emily Griffith Technical College, and the community media was helped created in partnership with them, and I know they've host a ton of classes that are super cool. And I know when we were here recording a podcast a month or so ago, that night they had classes on how to run a production TV show, how to edit video, how to shoot video. So
yeah, I mean, and it's just cool, right, for young adults to get the tools to be able to tell their stories. So like the next generation of storytellers that they'll be in Denver Community Media is really helping to create them, and it's just really exciting. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we can get one of them on as well. We'll see.
And then wrapping up the welcome, we have David Achilles, who is the community media coordinator here at Denver Community Media. So I know he has spent countless hours here putting everything together. He hosts many of those classes that people have the opportunity to come here and take and learn from his years of expertise. And I'm hoping to get him on an interview as well, because he's been running around here like crazy, and I know he knows his place from top to bottom. So really excited to hear some of those details and learn about what really is possible here.
Yeah, he definitely, that's our expert. So hopefully we get a nice long interview with him later today. So we are here at 2101 Arapahoe Street, as Ben said, in the new Buell Public Media Center. In Denver Community Media, it's really all about how can it build and strengthen community through media by providing and safeguarding affordable access to tools, training, and a creative space to enable free expression and digital equity, right? We want storytelling to really be open to everybody, no matter your socioeconomic status. It's really important to us here at the city and a lot of our partners as well. You can find more information about Denver Community Media at www.denvercommunitymedia.org. That's how you can find out how can you join Denver Community Media, and just look at kind of like, if you're not joining us here in person, all the awesome features and all the classes and things, or even devices you can check out if you are a storyteller or know somebody who is a storyteller. Yeah, this is just such a cool place. I think what I'm also excited for is this is just a new space for storytellers to connect, right? So like, let's say you already have the skills and you already have the training, but you want to know what other storytellers are doing in Denver. This space has a lot of potential to kind of, as we come out of this pandemic and we can meet again in person, to kind of connect Denver storytellers. And I think that's something we've talked a lot about, the tools and training, which is awesome, but it's also just a really awesome space that the community is going to be able to take advantage on here moving forward.
Yeah, they have really cool mentoring opportunities as well. So not only if you're a newbie to media like Chelsea and I might be here and could start off with some of the kind of basic level classes of how to shoot and edit video, they also have really good technical, more advanced training and mentoring. So if you're someone who's looking to just get involved with the media community here, maybe you've got years of experience, maybe you're still getting more advanced, there's really opportunities for everyone here. And I know they've been super welcoming to everyone that walks into this place, so it is not overwhelming like you would think it could be with all this advanced technology. They really are friendly, welcoming, and they walk you through every step of the way. They will not let you crash and burn, as they say.
And I mean, going back to the mentoring, right, there's no hierarchy here, right? Like if you just want to, if you're fresh out of, let's say, college or high school and you really want to tell a story, people can sit down with you and really kind of give you tips and pointers for how to frame your story so that has a bigger impact. Let's say if you like have an idea for a full-length film, like how do you go about a full-length film? And I think more than a lot of storytelling is really solo, you know? You might have a team, but I think often storytelling, you have an idea and a vision and a passion you want to execute. And so having this support system here at Denver Community Media really gives you the ability to go and execute. And I think that kind of, you know, no matter where you're at, or if you're a seasoned professional and you're like, you know what, I've never done a podcast, but it's kind of the new medium and there's a lot of potential, and you want to transform your existing storytelling and move it into a different platform, this would also be a really great place. All right, so our welcome and remarks are just about to start, so let's go bring it out to the parking lot, to the grand stage.
You're not the only one. You're not.
All right. Can I have everybody's attention, please? Welcome. Welcome to the grand opening of Denver Community Media and the ribbon cutting of the Community Media Center. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today. I'm Corinne Williams. I project manage the build out of the Community Media Center, and I'm also an administrator for the Denver Community Media Work Program. I'm so proud to be standing in front of all of you today, celebrating this, remarkable result of our grand adventure and years of hard work. So, Hopefully you're all able to check
feel like I
in
need to, like, grab a
at
pencil
the
and start
studio
writing
or
down some
at the
new
booth
topics.
over here with our lovely Marie and grab a badge and a baggie of goodies, and hopefully you were able to go and enjoy some lunch catered by Mad Greens. So if you hadn't had the opportunity to do that yet, please
Remember when
do
we used to
so.
get Mad Greens catered at work? Those were
And
amazing.
enjoy. So we're going to be live streaming today's event to Denver's cablecast channels, 56, 57, and 81, as well as online via our website, denvercommunitymedia.org, and our DCM on the cloud, video on demand portal, and our Roku app. So it's a very exciting time. So in a moment, I'm going to introduce the director of the DCM program, who will start off the speeches. But before I do, I'm going to ask that you please grab yourself a beverage so that we can all toast the formal ribbon cutting here in a moment. After the speeches, we invite you to line up at the front door, at these double doors, for tours of the space. And, since safety is our top priority in a time of COVID, we ask that you please, wear masks at all times when not eating or drinking. And we're going to keep the tours to about 6 to 8 people. So we're going to kick them off probably every couple minutes. And you'll have a tour guide walk you through our reception area, our, collaborative spaces, our edit bays, our master control, our classroom, our studio. So, and then eventually, when you end up in the studio, you can become a part of our live production. So we can't wait to show it all off to you. So thank you again for wearing your mask, and thank you again for being here. So now I'm honored to introduce the person behind the idea, the woman who first held the vision of Denver Community Media, a modern model of public and educational access that focuses on accessible training and development and a voice for the underrepresented members of our community. The strategist and the leader for this huge undertaking, my friend and my mentor for the past 6 years, the Director of Programming and Administration for Marketing Services, Julie Martinez.
Welcome everyone. Thank you, Corinne. I appreciate that introduction. My director title should be Director of, working with the fantastic people and great partners. That's what my title should be, because I'm so lucky to work. Thank you, David.
You want to see your face?
I'm so lucky to work with such fantastic people. So what a great turnout. Thank you guys for taking time out of your day and your hectic schedule to come and join us and celebrate the opening of Denver Community Media. So we are excited and relieved to be here with all of you today. It marks a tremendous accomplishment shared by many people, which makes it that much more gratifying. We are excited and relieved to be here today with all of you. And over 3 years ago, public education and government access were siloed and provided services independently. Celebrating the all-access opening of Denver Community Media today, we recognize becoming a unified, collaborative force. So that's awesome, that we can say that. Furthermore, over the last couple of years, we established media and digital access connectedness. So we have formed a new network in Denver, working with our esteemed partners, Amanda Mountain, CEO of Rocky Mountain Public Media, and several incredible people from Emily Griffith Technology College, like their CEO, Randy Johnson. So many people put in a great deal of work to make Denver Community Media, which we now fondly call DCM, a reality. The DCM team, John Carroll, Drew Wagner, Marie Trehill, and Jim Harold show up in many ways every day to serve our community and support one another. DCM, however, wouldn't be what it is today without the tireless effort of Corinne Williams, Alberto Garcia, Alan Delalis, and David Achilles. Would you please help me and give them all a round of applause? Thank you all so much. As we look toward the future, there is a great enthusiasm for developing our partnerships and many ideas to join other nonprofit organizations and neighbors. Together, we have established a partner trust that sets up to contribute to the positive change our communities work to cultivate every day. So we specifically designed today's event to give you all VIP access to the exciting and valuable services DCM provides. So I won't ruin the surprise anymore. I won't say any more about DCM, but I am a lucky lady because I have the honor of introducing Amanda Mountain, the CEO and visionary of Rocky Mountain Public Media and the Buell Media Center. So Amanda, will you come up here, bring those bright eyes up here and say a few remarks? Thank you all.
It's such an honor to work with Julie and the entire DCM team. You know, I don't remember who said it, but this storied quote about history being written by the victors of war. You know, when I think about Denver Community Media, I feel excited and inspired by the fact that that does not have to be true. You know, history can be written by each of you and all of our neighbors together, sharing our stories, reminding ourselves that we're connected and a part of something bigger, and that we can write history in a way that is more relevant and reflective of the lives of those who live in Denver and Colorado, and we can inspire others to do the same. So the work that is happening through Denver Community Media and hopefully at a larger scale through the Buell Public Media Center is so important now more than ever, really, as we're all looking for ways to come together and to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. So thank you for allowing us to be a part of it. Thank you for contributing to this shared vision, because it's really only as good as your contribution. So thank you so much. Enjoy the tour.
Thank you, Amanda, for those comments. My name is David Achilles. I'm the Access Coordinator for Denver Community Media. And before we go, I got my one fan. Thank you very much. All right, down in front. Woo! All right, I got some cookies for you, and all right, let's talk. Okay, so before we go any further, I want to call out a little kudos to those that are helping us today with music. Part of our goal at Denver Community Media is to forge partnerships with those in the community. And with us today is Youth on Record. And we have yes, give it up for Youth on Record. Our relationship is in its infancy. We're just starting to talk to them about programming and collaboration, but part of that engagement in our relationship is to invite them here today so we get to know them better and they get to come and play for you. So I want to call out DJ Stevie Selby right over here. Thank you, Stevie. Singer-songwriter Edwina Mabin and Ashley Brown. Thank you. And Edwina will be performing a set a little bit later between 1 and 1:30. So as we start to rotate through the tours, Youth on Record will be providing some entertainment, some music here in the courtyard for you to continue to enjoy. So another partnership that is very crucial in this, the opening of the new facility here, is our partnership with Emily Griffith Technical College. And yes, very excited about that. Very a foundational partner in the program and the work plan and what's happening here in the facility. And so I don't want to steal his thunder. I want to invite Randy Johnson to come up from Emily Griffith and offer a few comments. Please welcome Randy.
And I know there's always nerves when you see somebody with written notes. My comments are brief, but they're sincere, so thank you very much for this opportunity. First of all, I would just like to start by extending congratulations on the DCM's opening and the city's work in building a space for Emily Griffith Technical College, as well as the community at large. So what a great day this is for the citizens of Denver, for the students of Emily Griffith Technical College, and for the edification of all those who benefit from the varied media that generates from this place and that will generate from this place. As the collective media, as we know at Emily Griffith Technical College, seems to grow and evolve at an ever-increasing pace with new mediums arising with new technology, the constant is that we communicate and that we provide the tools and the access and expand the ability of our community to communicate effectively and freely. For Emily Griffith Technical College, we anchor our multimedia and video production program here. The benefits of co-locating in this beautiful facility were overwhelming for us. It was about providing our students with access to cutting-edge technology and the synergy of being in proximity to established Denver media giants that are housed here. Our students are the direct beneficiaries of this partnership and this location. And a word that I would say, and it was a word that actually came from an individual I'll introduce here in just a little bit, it's elevating. When our students are inside a facility like this, when they're around professionals like this, when they feel the energy that comes from a place like this, it's elevating. So this is a service for all of our students and all of our students that will be. And I also have to mention, as far as Amanda here, so in the celebrations, this is actually our 105th year as Emily Griffith Technical College. We're celebrating that this month, 105 years. And yes, we're very proud of that. But here's the thing that I had to mention, because there's a natural closing of the loop taking place. So when it comes to Rocky Mountain PBS, KRMA, as it was, they actually began their journey with us, Emily Griffith, back in 1956 at our old location. And what a beautiful journey that became for them as what they're doing in the whole state of Colorado. But actually began with us as educational television for Denver Public Schools, of which we're a part of Denver Public Schools. So I just say that because I couldn't resist saying is that this feels really good. This is family. And it's good to be back in the same proximity, in the same place. Now, I also want to make special recognition on behalf of Emily Griffith. I want to recognize two incredibly important individuals. These are the individuals that poured their hearts and souls into making this partnership and move into this building work for us. First, Sarah Holzberlein. She's the Dean of our College of Creative Arts and Design. Sarah. Sarah has been engaged in this project since the first day it was presented to Emily Griffith as an idea. Sarah's vision, her constant advocacy, and tireless work has made our part of the co-location successful. Sarah was and is always able to see what's next. And all of you, as the years go by, will also see those very same things in Sarah and her work here. Next, I also want to recognize Heidi Eversley. Heidi. Heidi is our instructor of multimedia and video production. It's Heidi's expertise and insights, her direct connection to our students, that made this a smooth and empowering transition for students and our larger Emily Griffith community. So thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you to the City and County of Denver and Denver Community Media. We are honored to be a part of this with you.
Thank you, Randy. I appreciate that comment you made about closing the loop, how things have come full circle again. That's a great context to our history, and thank you for sharing that, and thank you for the Emily Griffith staff that have worked so hard on this project as well. So we have one other individual who we want to recognize today, someone that was in this concept from the ground up, from the very get-go, casting vision and lending maturity and wisdom and insight and context, and that would be Alan Delalis. And will you welcome Alan Delalis? I'd love to have you give a few comments, Alan.
Thank you so much, David. I don't know about the wisdom part. The maturity, well, you can't avoid that. So it's better than the alternative, as they say. So thanks, David, for this opportunity to say a few brief comments. And I can't think of a more talented and skilled leader for this center. I really mean that. And I do promise that these comments will be brief. First, congratulations to all those who brought this place and these partnerships together. There is exciting promise in this venture, and each of you should be recognized for making it a reality. Where's my friend Corinne? There she is. In particular, a leader of the charge. And congratulations to the community who will have the opportunity to make use of all the expertise and the technical qualities that this center will provide. We all know that modern audiences are increasingly savvy, and they have high viewing standards. And Denver and Colorado residents have rich stories to tell, as Amanda pointed out and shared brilliantly with us. And this place can be a leader in helping those stories be told well and meet those audience expectations. And that's an important part of success in communication, is meeting the audience expectations as far as what you're communicating. And finally, I want to thank the City of Denver for supporting this vital project from the start. When Julie and I would have conversations early on, when she would share what was going on with us, it was very transformative, and we first started brainstorming out of how to help shape this access center. Our ideas got strong support and a positive reception from the city that did not waver during the very challenging agreements that had to follow to make this a reality. Denver should be proud today of what has been accomplished in the name of its residents. I've always believed that media access strengthens democracy. My first full-time job in media came as an assistant administrator for access with the then Mile High Cable partners, who got the original cable franchise in Denver. Well, we all know that a lot has changed, and the media landscape is completely different than it was in the mid-'80s. But the reality is that it's opened up wider than ever before. And so this facility has great potential to play an important role in how Denver and Colorado residents become part of that picture. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan, for those comments. And I just have a few comments to add, and then we will do our ribbon cutting ceremony and open the center officially and formally. For the past 18 months at least, there's that thing that we won't say, the word we won't say, that has kept us on a very reduced opening, and we've had a very slow roll to get things going, and now this is a big and important kickoff today into fully opening at a grand sense, but also opening completely to the public so that the community can come in and enjoy the facility. A little bit about what we've been doing during our ramp up, our soft opening. We've had some very exciting productions, some live telethons. We've done some things with Juneteenth, and people and members are starting to come in and use the podcast room and the studio and the facility, and we're very excited about that. This is the community's media center, and it's open for everyone. Access is for everyone, and we welcome you all. We've created a center that is high-tech and forward-looking, where while we have our legacy cable channels where we can deliver content to the community, we've built this facility to be forward-looking. So we're investing in technologies around social channels, around smart TV apps like Roku TV, and also video on-demand services, and to be cutting edge and high-tech for the community, and to be accessible for everyone. So as we invite Julie and Corinne to come back and we get ready with the ribbon cutting, we welcome you after the ribbon has been cut to come and take a tour. This whole event has been live streamed. We're live right now on our Facebook page and also on our cable channels. And while you go through the tour, you will be participating in an active production. And so we're very excited to, as much as you're willing, pull you into it and let you be a part of it. And so please line up and be ready to take tours in small groups.
I just want to invite Randy, Sarah, and Heidi up if you want to come up too. And Alan, if you would come up. Thank you all. Enjoy. Have fun.
All right, Ben, I think those scissors exceeded all expectations. They were a lot bigger than I saw in the photograph. They were large and in charge. It was definitely that, and the hats, I think, were my favorite parts of that opening.
Yes, a nice 85-degree day in Denver, some hats and some shades are very essential. And that was a very exciting ribbon cutting.
Yeah, so we were at 2101 Arapahoe Street in the new Buell Public Media Center, celebrating the grand opening of the Denver Community Media Center. We just heard welcome and remarks from some of the partners that made this Denver Community Media a reality. So the City and County of Denver, Rocky Mountain Public Media, Emily Griffith Technical College. So while we have you, we'd love to see, we're gonna see a short preview of some of the content that's being produced here in Denver Community Media. There's a lot, yeah.
Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the Federation Church of California. Not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring.
And so I thought about it, and while we're gaming and bowling, I decided I love smoothies. I want to make a smoothie shop. And with Josh Liston's culinary expertise, it was so easy to say, let's move to Colorado where we could smoke pot legally and open a smoothie shop.
That was actually the first thought.
But whenever I would have to cook something, I would call my Meemaw up in heaven and I'd say, Grandma, send me a recipe from heaven. That was the best potato salad those 60 people had ever eaten in their life.
I just finished spending like many hours going through this collection of 450 approximate photographs from the World War I era.
Yeah.
But you really have a good,
It gives you a
to
sense.
realize what the trench was actually like from
Yes.
inside the trench.
Hello, my name is James Ray Miller. I've just recently been released from prison. I did 26 years for first-degree assault, attempted aggravated robbery, and conspiracy. And I am mending roots to cultivate communities.
Once again, Mending Roots to Cultivate Community Telethon, right here from the Denver Community Media Studios. And now I'm joined
by James Miller. Man, thanks for coming through, brother.
Thanks for having me.
There's so many questions that I have, but I guess first I would like to, what do you feel like what's going through your mind when you're watching yourself speak about your situation?
I'm holding back tears right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm hurting. You know what I mean? I just want to help any way I can, man, you know?
It shows. It shows, and it's...
This is Reed. Hello, my name's Reed.
This is Snarklet. Hello. We're really happy to be here.
We are narwhals, we are fabulous, magically delicious. We are narwhals, we are shimmering, me, supercalifragilistic.
I started dancing before I was born. My mother was pregnant with me, teaching dance in Crested Butte and teaching tap.
One of my favorite stories about Pi was that she was born in the car. She insisted on being conceived. She named herself before she was born, and then she had to be born the way she wanted to be born. Turned out it was in the car, on the way to the hospital during a torrential downpour, and the roads were flooded. She was born in the car. And everybody wanted to know if I was going to name her Tercel, because it was a Toyota Tercel.
Hi, welcome back. We are at Denver Community Media celebrating the grand opening, and we actually have one of the members here at Denver Community Media. You actually saw some of her stuff just then in the highlight reel. Ben, do you want to introduce our new guest?
Yeah, Sylvia, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for inviting me to be a guest.
It's
all very exciting.
Very first guest on. We're excited to have you. Maybe just want to introduce yourself and just a little background about you.
My name's Sylvia Lamb, as you know. I've just come from outside for the grand opening in the ribbon cutting. It's all very exciting. I've been a member, I'd say, I think it's coming into my third year.
Really?
And
Okay.
and I just saw it on when I was doing an internet search for something else, and this popped up, and I thought this is great because I definitely am interested in community voices, obviously my own, but also giving a voice to often the unheard. And actually, when things started coming together was during COVID, and they've got a section. Have on Fridays, I think it's still at 9 o'clock. It's called Denver Shorts, where they have like short snippets, short packages that they run throughout the half hour. And it was an opportunity for me to reach out and to interview people that how they'd been affected by COVID. So there was a young. I reached out to non-profits and said, "Oh, could you send me some material that you record on your phone or your iPad or whatever about how it's affecting you?" So one was a young mothers organisation. There was another one that was about giving diapers to people, and that's me trying to give a voice to people that don't get a lot of attention, and also kind of brush up on my media and reporting skills, because originally back in London, you can hear the accent, that I used to work for the BBC and as a journalist, and it was a case of working a lot in diversity, both as a presenter and also just creating packages either on radio and video. And so, and in a strange way, COVID reintroduced me to my former world, and that's how I got more involved in Denver Community Media. As the name says, it does what it says on the tin. It is all about community.
We're not trying to like pull the wool over your eyes. It's exactly what they say it is.
Yeah, for sure.
That's amazing. So you've been involved in media for a while now.
Oh, a bit long, yeah. So
Okay.
I think communications, I've decided, because I do a lot of work in public relations, and again working with non-profit organisations. I've worked with the NAACP, the Juneteenth Music Festival, and different organisations that I say are often overlooked, and the less heard people in our community and in society. And so so that's what I've been doing. Yeah.
That's amazing. Maybe you want to talk about some of the reasons that made you to decide to join Denver Community Media, and what have been some of your favorite parts since you've been a part of the team?
I think what it's the free reign that you get, that I can tell the stories that I want to tell. I can tell them in the way that I want to tell them. I don't have an editor saying, this is the angle you must have on this particular story. It's my story, I craft it, I create it. And the fact that you can also, you still own the material. And so even the Denver Community Media is actually a medium for you to get your story out there, but you still have the ownership, you still have the copyright, and I like that.
Cool.
Yeah, and so so as I say, I can choose any kind of subject that I want, and it's welcomed. And it's feels like a real quid pro quo. They're looking for content, and I'm looking for a way to air those the stories and the messages I want to get out there as well. And as I was saying, I started off with just purely short snippets, and then that was great because they also. As I've been in media a long time, and so when I was doing editing back in the day, I used to work in radio, it was actually reel to reel, and you're talking about cut and paste. It was literally cutting and splicing and pasting together the actual reel. And gosh, I hope you say I don't look that old. But anyway, even if you don't, I'll say that myself. Oh, bless you, bless you. Anyway, so and so I have the creative mind for editing, but obviously things have moved on a lot since then.
Yeah.
It was, how do I edit online? And I had no idea how you did that. But then Denver Community Media does courses on editing.
Sure.
And so that's how I started with one of their courses. There was a course on actually on using a camera as well. I was able to borrow equipment from Denver Community Media, and they just showed me quickly how to use a camera. So I took that out and filming interviews. So instead of just using my iPhone, I was using proper equipment in order to do that. And so I felt as if it was a safe space as well. And we've got David Achilles, who is absolutely brilliant. I know he's going to feel a bit shy, me giving him a shout out, but I really do feel that he deserves all the props and all the big ups, because especially from a different country as well, he was really able to support me and encourage me and coming to him with ideas, and he supported my creativity, and that was great. And I think one of the first events that I did was Dr. Justina Ford. She's the first African American female licensed doctor in Colorado, and it was her 150th birthday earlier this year. And I came to him and said, maybe told him about what was happening, because there was going to be a celebration done by the Black American West Museum, and he said, could we be your media sponsors? And that was fantastic. And so that was the first live stream. They came down to a church, and they set up all their equipment, and we had some live material. And I also produced some pre-recorded material, and it had people who I said them, people like the mayor, they had the governor, who said, "Happy birthday, Dr. Justina Ford." I'd got someone to actually record. She was an artist, a reenactor, who reenacted Dr. Justina Ford, and I put that all together, and had people that were actually delivered by Dr. Justina Ford as well.
Oh, wow.
And so I had loads of material, and I just threw it together. Like you do on the editing or Final Cut, because that's what I can do now.
Yeah.
And that was put out, and it got a lot of positive response because it was aired on Denver Community Media, and actually PBS got in contact, and they really liked it, and so it's going to be showed on their channel at some point this year. So that's all really exciting. So not only is it something for the community, you can also get some kind of recognition because we're all housed in the same building.
Yeah. Well, congratulations for PBS. That's huge. That's really exciting.
I know. I'm really excited. Yes.
Really making some big connections out here, and really reaching some great sources.
Yeah, no, definitely, because I think you're here in the hub. You know, not only in this building, you've got Denver Community Media, you've got Rocky Mountain PBS, you've got Cuvo Radio, you've got The Drop as well, and I've made connections within those different organisations as well. I just see this as, even though I do work for different organisations, this is where I think I feel is a real home for my creativity. When I feel I have an idea, which I think, oh, this is a great idea, I can run it by David and say, what do you think about this? And he can hone it in. He'll say, oh, have you thought about this? Maybe we can do this, or maybe we can be media sponsors. Like, for example, the Juneteenth Music Festival. That was a 6-hour broadcast, and it was just before the street event. So I had different people who were involved in Denver. Who were involved in Juneteenth festival, like for the food trucks, people came down with their food, had the artists that were performing, and that made a show, and that was 6 hours. Also had Mending Roots, that was a few months before, and Denver Community Media again were the sponsors, and that was violence prevention for young people, and so that was a 6-hour broadcast, and you had people telling their stories about how gang violence had affected their lives, whether they were victims or they were the perpetrators, and it was we were donated. People were asking for donations, and that came through as well. And so the fact that they are spearheading, being able to tell these stories, and it can be a base for all these organisations. It is truly a godsend.
I mean, and I think that's the greatest pitch I've heard for Denver Community, as somebody who's involved, who's passionate about it, is telling their stories and getting their story out there. So I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us a little bit more. Your enthusiasm is contagious, so thank you so much for coming on,
I am
Sylvia.
enthusiastic. And thank you for asking me. I could talk on for ages, but there's other voices that you need to hear.
Yeah,
Thanks
I
so
am
much for
very
coming
excited to explore some of your projects. It sounds like you've really been diving into some really interesting issues here in Denver.
Oh no, definitely, and there are more. I mean, yeah, exactly. That's just scratching the scratching the surface, darling. Just scratching the surface.
Let me ask you one final tough-hitting question.
Okay.
Do you like editing more when it was cutting and taping, or these days when it's on the computer? Do you ever wish you could go back to the way it used to be?
No way at all. That was, you had this big, and it was a huge reel-to-reel.
Yeah.
And so you would have this little kind of desk, and it was like that. And you'd sit there, and you would have your headphones on because you were in an office, and there's other people doing the same thing. And it was cutting, and then you would think, oh, I've cut the wrong piece, and then you've thrown it on the floor, and then you're searching on the floor for all the cuttings, trying to think, even if you're looking for just the word that says the. And so you have to find that small bit to say the, to put it onto the reel, and then paste it up again. So yeah, no, I love, I'm a modern lady. So
That's an appreciation for all the digital tools here.
And exactly.
Well, thanks for joining in, guys. We're at the grand opening of Denver Community Media. We actually have Youth on Record out in the plaza, and they're giving a performance. So let's listen in for a second, see how they're doing.
Purposely throw my plans away.
I will get better at that. I promise. Okay, come on out. There's your monitor right there.
Hey.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Welcome back. We have one of our tours is here, and we have our Alan. We're going to do an interview with, but until then, we've got some people from a tour. What are you guys' name?
Jacob Smith.
Jacob Smith.
My name is Jolt.
Hi, Jolt. Those are excellent names. Are you guys from Youth on Record? I think I saw Youth on Record. Okay, yeah, I saw the mask.
I'm not, but I'm aware of Youth on Record.
Okay, okay.
No, I'm a public artist. I create public art.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, amazing.
Well, welcome to the studio. We have this.
I didn't realize I was walking into this.
Yeah.
Our interview.
Live.
You're live right now. We have the green screen. If you guys want to look there, that's what's on the green screen. Yeah, so I think this is like City Park, a romantic afternoon.
Either very spiritual or you're walking on
Yeah, you're walking on. The geese population has already been dealt with. I think we have a couple of backgrounds. You guys are a little transparent. You're like
Very
ghosts on this.
controversial, of course.
Yeah, you're a little ghosty. Oh, Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Youth on Record. This is your grand moment.
Carol, they had a
Live at Red Rocks.
What am I supposed to do with this microphone? Just say your name, talent, give a story.
Thank you guys so much for coming on and playing with us for a little bit. We appreciate it. Thank you. I'll turn this off for you. Enjoy the tour.
Thank you.
I know they got good swag there, Ben. I don't know if we get a swag bag at the end of this, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're here at Denver. We're here at Denver Community Media, and we got Alan actually mic'd up. So we'll give us Alan a second.
I remember how to do this.
I know, Alan.
Yeah, Alan's the expert, so they didn't help him like they helped us.
Yeah, we had to get here early. We had to like get it fixed for the side.
Former expert.
Former expert.
Well, you know, once an expert, always an expert, as they say.
All right, well, I didn't do that very well.
All right, Alan. So obviously I know you, but can you tell me your name?
Sorry, my phone was ringing. I was going to make sure it got turned off.
There we go.
There we go.
Live.
Okay. Got to take care of all those details.
All the things, okay.
All those details. I think this is on, right?
Yeah, I think it's on. Carol, my producer's not telling me that.
That it's not.
That it's not.
Okay, good.
So can you tell a little bit about yourself and how you're involved with Denver Community
Well,
Media?
sure. Yeah, I worked for the city for many years, and I retired about a year ago.
Yeah.
But in that last 2 years or so before retirement, this was all we really worked on.
Yeah.
I came over here and officed, even during work from home, I would still come in and office here while the construction was going on to make sure things were moving along, and in case there were any problems that arose, which, there weren't too many serious things at all.
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain, of course, built the building, so they had a lot more serious things to deal with than
us,
building out our interior space. So,
but
it's been pretty exciting actually to see it actually become real.
I mean, yeah, I remember talking about this too with you, I think a couple of years ago, and it's totally different to actually see it rather than the mock-ups, right? To actually physically walk in the building, to go into the podcast space. It's such a cool
And when I left,
space.
there wasn't any furniture here
Yeah.
or any equipment. So I'll be very excited to see that. I have not seen it yet, so I'm looking forward to that part.
You'll have to finish the tour to get the full experience. I know Corinne picked out a lot of like the colors, so if you have any aesthetic design feedback,
she
it's
and
all
I
Corinne.
worked together on those
awesome.
things, and again, mostly it was her creative choices.
Yeah.
But we met with the furniture people together. We met with the carpet people together. We met, all that.
I mean, there's a lot of steps.
There, yeah, she did a great job of just herding those cats.
Yeah.
She made a comment earlier about herding something, but it was mostly cats.
It's
I'm
mostly
sure.
cats. What are you most excited about for Denver Community Media?
Well, I just think it's a great facility that gives a great opportunity to the community in general. Not just Denver residents, but Colorado residents as well, can all take advantage of this facility. And I think it's going to raise the level of communication, because I think the communication part is important to be successful you have to communicate your ideas. And you know, everyone has, the community has great ideas and great stories to tell, but they have to learn how to be effective in telling those stories. And I think this place will give the opportunity to do that. I think that's really important.
No, I agree.
Because as much as we've seen media change in the last decade or so, it's going to keep changing. And the basics of communication don't change that much. So, you know, you have to learn the technologies in order to communicate effectively, and I think this place will it will help so much.
I agree. I mean, we just talked to Sylvia, who's a member here, and she just had such great insight and good things to say about the stories she's already been able to tell using Denver community media. And
that's fantastic to hear. Yeah.
So I would like to take advantage of the fact that you have such a history behind Denver community media. Could you kind of explain to us like why city government is involved in community media? Like what's our role in it and why are we involved?
Well, I think Julie sort of set it out. The law sets aside in cable franchises community channels. Denver has one as a government entity. The schools have one as an educational entity, and the public has one as a public entity. And this was a way to start to really be more efficient in the way those limited dollars as cable subscribers shrink with all the new ways that you can get video. And as David said in our opening remarks, you know, it's forward-looking. And there's a lot of great new opportunities here that when I first started in the business, they didn't exist. And so the fact that this place is built forward-looking is tremendous. I mean, I've already been recruited to do something with the podcast studio, which will be new to me, but it will be potentially, if it goes through, if it all comes together, it could help tell Denver's history, because it would be focused on people and stories from Denver's immediate past, where I just was watching Your City Now last night and on Channel 8, and they had the feature on Federico Pena.
Yeah, that one's a great one. I really love that.
That's when I came into the city. It was under Pena's administration, and that was just that short amount. I can't wait to see the rest of it. I haven't tuned in to the online version yet, but I will. And but that was really exciting to see. And so people who go back at least that far, and maybe a little bit earlier, maybe a couple of administrations earlier, will be able to share some things and bring those stories forward so that new people to Denver, which there are a lot, will have that same identity and history for the place that they're in.
Yeah, the same appreciation and love for Denver, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. Really loved having you on. I know you're really passionate and we're such a key part of making this Denver community a reality. So
yeah, thank you very much for saying that. I appreciate it. And it was great to be here. And please come in and use these facilities.
Yeah, they're awesome.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. Sounds like you might even have a chance to run into Alan here down the road if they are able to bring him back.
Learn from the true storytelling. Well, you guys, we are here at the grand opening of Denver Community Media. We've got a lot of great events and more interviews coming up, and we actually have, take a peek at all the photos that we've been taking. So, photos taken so far in the event. grand opening we're here at the grand opening of Denver Community Media, and we're actually joined by Corinne Williams. She's going to test out our green screen, which is in the main studio here. So there's a podcast studio, there's a main studio, and then all the technology you could ever need to tell your story to check out or get trained up on. Corinne, could you just tell us a little bit about your name and just tell us about your work here? Like, why are you involved in Denver Community Media and wearing part of the ribbon?
Woo!
So by the way, we have enough ribbon to go around, so everyone gets a little piece of Denver Community Media.
Yay.
Yeah, so I mean, I started working. Should I be looking at you? Or
you can look just straight ahead at this camera.
Okay. Right. So yeah, I started working for marketing and media services 6 years ago now. And in 2018, we started, developing this new model of community media. From the old model of public access and educational access was birthed this, joint effort called community media. And I was part of the team since the beginning with Julie Martinez, with Alan Delalis, Alberto Garcia, Jenny Schiavone. Everyone else in tech services was involved, and lots of different people from the city. But I mean, I ended up project managing the build out of the Community Media Center, and overseeing, our engineer project manager who did, oversaw the build out of the lighting that's in the studio right now, and all of our different systems that are interconnected using, network device interface, NDI, this really cool new idea, this new protocol, yeah. And so I ended up project managing, the build out, and then from there I just, I'm a contract administrator for Denver Marketing Services, and I write a lot of the policies and do the research along with David and Julie, and we keep the program going, and we're the administrators in the back end. So it's just we're so excited to have so many people here today and really see this community come to life and the center come to life.
How's the show been? Because I've been on the other side.
Yeah, we keep seeing you pop up on the camera sometimes.
Okay.
So we saw your speech. We thought it was really good. You
good.
emceed really well.
Got the big scissors for the ribbon cutting, so that was
nice.
exciting. That was a
Yeah,
good surprise for everyone.
Yeah.
Good. Well.
All right. So we have talked about you a few times throughout the show. We tried not to hype you up too much, but maybe if you want to just talk about a little of your background and how you got involved in community media in Denver.
Sure, yeah. So my name is David Achilles, and I am the access coordinator for Denver Community Media. And let's see, I've been in the TV business for a really long time. I started out in Denver with Denver 8, DMMS, Denver's Marketing and Media Services, now Marketing Services. But started back in the 90s, and Denver went through such a huge renewal and renaissance in the 90s, and really I consider that's when Denver really became my hometown, because just seeing all the things from back-to-back Bronco victories and this is right back in the first time it happened, Bronco victories and the Avalanche and Pepsi Center and Central Platte Valley, just all the things, Denver, just crazy renovation through the 1990s. And so anyways, that's where I started working with the city and Denver 8, and then did some time working with a local production company called Renaissance Media, and also I've been doing a lot of freelance work for quite a while, and also did some time over at News 4 as a director and technical director. And so now I've come to be a part of Denver Community Media, and it's really pretty exciting. I just, we want to welcome the community in. We've got a great space. It's high tech. It's fun. If anybody's still watching, we've just had a lot of fun today, or tried to have fun. And it's not tried. We've done it. I've had fun, and I hope you guys have had fun. And we want this space to be available. It is available to the community. We welcome you. We want you to come in. And the thing is that the facility being as high tech as it is, be excited about it, that we want access. We want to give you access to it, but we also want to train you how to use it. Some people may come in and they're like, well, where do I start? And oh my gosh, look at this switcher. It's so huge. I don't even know how to get my head around it. And so we kind of ease you in and just start off with hearing about your passions, your worldview, your story, what's the thing that energizes, excites your heart, and that's usually what fuels the shows that people want to make, whether it's anything from cooking to cannabis, or, I mean, because a lot of people, they're passionate about that, those things, and maybe those two together too.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like, it feels like that might have an overlap.
Could be there's some overlap.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, everybody usually, when we have our first meeting, they've usually got something on their heart, and they've got something to say. They want to say something like, or something to share. We had one gentleman come through, and he's a big fan of Mini Coopers. And we had a great discussion over, could we get a Mini Cooper in the studio? And like, what could we do? And that's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So circling, I am coming back around the other side of the barn, believe it or not. But the high-tech facility, it's to invite people in, and you have access to equipment that's current. It's it's current technology, and we're building into what the future is. And while our legacy has been on cable all these years, we recognize that that's where we've come from, and we don't forget our history, but we also are looking forward to what future tech is, which includes smart TV apps and internet streaming and video on demand and social channels, because nobody comes in and just does a regular video anymore.
No.
They come in and their video they want to do either for Instagram or my Facebook or my social audience that I'm working on, building my brand, my following for Mini Coopers, you know, that I want to share all my passion about Mini Coopers. So, yeah, I know that's a long way around the barn.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we stopped at cannabis, we stopped by Mini Coopers.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Very
So, sure.
That is amazing. I love how you mentioned when people come in, you kind of start with that, like, what inspires you? And I know we had Sylvia on earlier, and she said that was one of her favorite things is you are letting people tell their stories and what they want to talk about, and really they are the ownership of what they are creating. And so you're not forcing any ideas or kind of story angles onto anybody. So I don't know if you want to talk about, I know you host some classes, so maybe talk about some of those classes, and then just how you go from helping somebody in a class to enabling them to tell their story.
Sure, yeah, and just to key off that point, we actually work very hard as a staff to not discriminate. We want to empower and enable and help people grow in identifying that passion, help them craft that story. But then there's a point where we're hands off on the content, because we celebrate you as an artist, as a creative, and that what you create is yours. We don't want any ownership of it. We don't take any of that. We fully support it and want to help you craft it and develop it. But then when it comes to the content, we kind of are a little hands off. I think you need to make that decision as to if that's the appropriate guest for your show or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
But along those same lines, taking that to the next step, we offer the coaching, that consultation to begin with, and then we look to integrate our new members into different classes. So it could be a class on field production, field shooting, where we introduce you to the camera, the tripod, the lights, the wireless microphones, and get you in the door, get you equipped with how to buy an SD card, what is the right SD card, to make sure that you're going to succeed. I mean, it's ultimately, we want to see success, whether it's, you know, crafting the story or getting the right tech. So we offer a field production class, we offer editing classes, and we've just expanded our editing curriculum. We were working on 2 platforms, Adobe Premiere and Final Cut Pro, and those are 2 platforms that if you want to get them on your own, you have to pay for them. And to kind of bolster our position and our passion for equity, to make things accessible for everybody, we've started teaching a free editing program called DaVinci Resolve. So just to make sure that we're accessible for everybody, that they can go and get the free DaVinci Resolve and still get opportunities to learn it, that they don't feel they have to, I got to spend, you know, so many hundreds of dollars to get Final Cut Pro. I can come to the class that teaches the free product, and it just makes it more accessible. And beyond the editing, we've got this great studio here. We've got 5 cameras in the studio, equipped with the high tech of whether it's teleprompter, IFB earpieces, and even though you're nodding your heads, I know you're listening to your producer.
Yeah, we have learned a lot in just these couple of days of being here at the Media Center.
Yeah, it's fun, and some people just have to kick the tires and try it. I think I'm going to sit in front of the camera and try it and put the earpiece in and hear the producer talk to me and look like a deer in the headlights and go, okay, yeah, I want to try some more. Or they're like, nope, that's not for me. I'm going to shoot, I'm going to edit, I'm going to stay behind the camera. That's usually been me my life. I stay behind the camera.
Yeah.
But, and then we have a great podcast studio. So we have a main studio, a podcast studio. The great example we give is, Joe Rogan. People kind of clue into that. It's a radio studio with TV cameras. So people can come in, and you could do an audio podcast if you want, but hey, we've got cameras. And it's great to put your face on there and bring your guests, and you can do roll-ins with music or video, whatever your passion is that you're going to make about your video podcast. And of course, we have a class that helps equip you in that.
Yeah. I really like what you said about removing the barriers of entry, right? Because it shouldn't matter how much money you make or what your resources are. You should be able to tell your story. Could you talk a little bit more about, I know technology is really expensive as well, kind of like what kind of technology can you check out here at Denver Community Media?
Sure, and as a jumping off point to that technology, I can't pass up the fact that in keying with that equity mindset, we've tried to structure our memberships to be very accessible, and we offer many discounts to be able to get into a membership, and so we very much carry that burden in a way to make sure that nobody gets shut out, and that's even reflected in what we charge for our equipment and what we charge for our memberships. It's just very affordable, and then even on top of that we offer the discounts. So from that to your high-tech question, let's see some of the tech. Well, going back to our building and designing the new facility, everything is interconnected. And so in this studio here, we can do performance artists. We can host performance artists like musicians, and we can do multi-track recording. And then in one of our other rooms, we can capture all that multi-track recording, and tomorrow we could do a mix down in Pro Tools.
Oh, cool.
So it's really fun. We've had a number of bands in here. We want to encourage bands to continue to come in, artists, performing artists, and they get the high-tech cameras and the tools here, and then they can do the multi-track recording and do a mix down later on of their performance here. And we also offer the ability to push to multiple social platforms. So if you're building an audience on Facebook and Twitch, we can go live to our cable channel, live to our streaming platforms, live to your streaming platforms, push it out all at once to multiple destinations. And while you're in either this room or the podcast room, we can take live calls on air. So if you want people to call into your show, that's a risk you have to really consider. There's all kinds of YouTube videos about, prank calls. But we also take Skype calls, video calls. So we were doing a show on Juneteenth. We did a live 6-hour pre-broadcast on Juneteenth, and we had 2 callers calling in from the UK on Skype and talking to our host. And it was a whole lot of fun. And then later in the show, we went live over to Cleo Parker Dance, and our host threw it over to Cleo, did a little interview with Cleo, and then we watched them do some dancing. And just that, it used to be those kinds of, let's throw it over to, Joe down at the Capitol. That sort of stuff used to be for the news stations. And it was the high tech, it was really expensive, and they couldn't do it. And now it's become very accessible, and we offer that. We can do a live remote from Cleo if that's what is part of your show. Or we could do a live remote like today. We went out to the courtyard and had our cameras out there. And it's just, we've tried to be very forward looking with the tech and also making it accessible.
That's really cool. How long have you been with Denver Community Media now?
So for a couple of years now. We started back beginning of 2019, and then I joined mid-2019, and then was here through the build out of the new facility, and now, thankfully, here for the ribbon cutting. I'm excited to be open for the public.
Yeah.
And may I take a moment and do a couple shout outs?
Yeah, for
Is that
sure.
okay?
Yeah.
I
Over
want
there.
to shout out.
Camera 2.
Do a little shout out. Tracy is one of our very active members here, and at the last minute she was not feeling well and had to cancel, so just a shout out to say hi to Tracy. And I know she really wanted to be here for the grand opening and was sad about that, but just saying hi out to Tracy. And then I want to give a shout out to Kevin. Kevin is one of our very active members, and he's here volunteering today. He's over in the podcast studio selling that thing like there's no tomorrow.
Oh, we met Kevin. He's super nice.
Yes, so Kevin Vidal is his name, and Kevin actually is very marketing minded, and he just drops these little gems my way. He'll come by with his cameras rolling, and he's actually a really good producer. He'll prompt me while he's got his camera rolling, and he's like, "Hey, David, what are you doing?" And I just prattle on, and then the next day he sends me this video. And so we have one of his videos, and it's queued up. I'll key it off here in just a moment, but just kind of a nice shout out to Kevin. He really supports us, great volunteer, and then I want to show you a sample of one of his videos that he just dropped on me.
We'd love to see it.
And so let's take a look. It goes with our marketing campaign, and we'll just let it play for itself.
You have something to say? Let's give it some air.
Got something to say? Give it some air.
You have something to say? Let's give it some air. You have things you've been wanting to say. Things that have been on your mind and in your heart for some time. They're ideas you love and believe in, ideas you just can't keep to yourself any longer. Ideas you want to share with your community, to engage, to inform, connect.
Everything you need to make your ideas come to life.
Have something to say?
Let's give it some air.
Give it some air.
Let's give it some air. Let's make it happen at Denver Community Media.
That was a great video.
Yeah, just a shout out to Kevin. He just drops those little gems for us, and he keys in on the messaging we want to get out, and that's our new branding campaign that we're launching. You got something to say? Let's give it some air.
Give it some air.
Yeah, let's give it some air. So
I want to see
that's
that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, soon,
Give it
right?
some air.
We just yes, we have opened the doors now. Now we'll work on the T-shirt campaign.
Nice.
So
I love
yeah.
that.
Could you just tell us what's your favorite part of this role?
I think really interacting with the community, getting to know people, and hearing their story. And after we invite people to orientation class, and that's where we get to know them. And we say we want to build community through media. And that's kind of really what's the grassroots of it, where it's going. It's building community in these relationships, but it is through the tools of media. And so as we get to know people, and they usually have something to say. And they,
Some
wow,
air,
imagine
maybe?
that.
Okay.
It didn't take us long around the table to come up with that. But so it's fun because they have a passion. Like I mentioned, my call out to Tracy. Tracy wants to save cats. That's what motivates her. And so she wants to make videos to get people to find a forever home for cats. So here's how much she's had an impact on me. Are you ready to take a cat home? I know somebody who can help get you a kitty.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Right, so I'll connect you with Tracy.
Have you taken a kitty home since you've met Tracy?
I have a dog. So at the moment, I have a dog from Max Fund, but she works with Max Fund on the cat side. So my dog cancels out the cat side. But back to Tracy. Tracy's passion is she loves the cats and she wants to help. And so she's driven by that, and she's working with Max Fund. And I just have had so much fun getting to know her and hearing her passion. And I think that's overall the part of the job that's really fun. And when people have those aha moments where they come in and they sit down in the control room, which you saw some shots of the control room in Kevin's video, and at first they're just like overwhelmed with, oh my gosh, look at all these buttons. And then when we just kind of distill it down and simplify it and say, just start walking before you run, and people start to get it, and the light bulb goes on, and they get excited, and just working with the people, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thanks so much for coming down and talking to us a
Yeah.
little bit more in detail about all the awesome work you're doing here at Denver Community Media. Congrats on the opening.
Thank you.
Congrats on this cool event.
Great. It's my pleasure.
So if you do want to get more information about Denver Community Media, it's just www.denvercommunitymedia.org. and that's for the memberships. Learn more about it, see the highlight reel, and that's how to get involved.
Yeah, and they also have many social media. You can find their Facebook, their other social media, and get connected easily. And you might even meet David in person one day.
We are open for tours. You can sign up for a tour on the website.
Yeah,
We'd love to show you around the facility. And we also have orientation class on Wednesday evenings. You don't have to become a member for that. You can come and kick the tires Wednesday night, come and meet everybody, see the facility, and decide if it's for you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great pitch.
That's awesome. Yeah, while we've been on live for the last couple hours, we've had tours coming in this whole time. So in the corner of our eye, we've seen people checking us out, taking pictures, being amazed by the space. Yeah, we've gotten lots of selfies and people hopping in front of the green screen. So
Yeah.
we've had some fun being live here.
Yeah, maybe we could revisit that camera reel, see all the photos from this really awesome day of events. Yep. So again, we're at Denver Community Media. We're here at Denver Community Media for the grand opening in sunny Denver, Colorado. It's like a perfect 85 degrees out there today.
Yeah. Hopefully it's still nice. We've been here in the studio for a couple hours, so I'm not sure if any showers have rolled in or any clouds.
That's
but
true. It might not be sunny anymore outside.
you never know here. Yeah, this is a great location.
Carol, do we have another interview or do we need to wrap up?
I think we're
What a great day it's been, Ben. Like, those photos just really, I think, articulate how much fun today was and what a great event this grand opening has been. It's been an honor to host with you, Ben, today as well.
Yeah, we've had a blast. We've had a lot of people come and visit. We've got to see a lot of smiling faces and people amazed by this facility, and it's just been amazing and a lot of fun to be a part of the day.
Yep. So Denver Community Media, if you need to hear it one more time, it's an affordable multimedia one-stop shop that not only provides but safeguards affordable access to tools and training. It's really all about what kind of story do you want to tell and how can we get it out for you. So your story, your way, that's what we're all about here. We have really easy, affordable options to get involved. You can go to www.denvercommunitymedia.org to learn more, take a tour, come on Wednesday, as David said, to see if this is for you. And it's just been a really great grand opening down here in Denver today.
Yeah, we're at 2101 Arapahoe Street at the new Buell Public Media Center. We're just a few blocks from Coors Field, an area that I hold near and dear to my heart. So definitely going to be back around sometime soon. So there's a few people we would like to thank that really helped make not only this day a reality, but also this facility a reality. We've got Julia Martinez, the Director of Program and Administration at the City of Denver, Amanda Mountain, the CEO of Rocky Mountain Public Media, Randy Johnson, the Executive Director of Emily Griffith Technical College, David Achilles, the Community Media Coordinator at Denver, here at Denver Community Media. And then I would also like to thank Sylvia, who came and did a wonderful interview with us, and Alan Delalis, who spoke and came and talked to us as well. And up on the screen here, we've got a huge thank you to a lot of our other partners who help make Denver Community Media become a reality. We've got the Department of Finance and Budget Management Office. We've got the Department of Finance Controller's Office, Department of Parks and Recreation, the Mayor's Office, City Council, Denver Economic Development and Opportunity Office. We've got some of our partners who were involved in making the Denver Community Media possible: Rocky Mountain Public Media, Emily Griffith Technical College, Denver Public Schools,
Metro State University, Youth on Record, and Denver Digital.